at one point for a long time blamed you for things and actions that I myself did. And it wasn't until my own brothers had to sit me down. And now this was before all the falling out. This was after you guys had just had your meeting with them. And I told them before they went to the meeting, I said, listen, I know you guys got my back on this shit, but between me and you, I want you guys to go to this meeting, and whatever you guys decide to do as a gang, you guys want to wash your hands of it and move on, then that's what it is. It's gonna be my own personal, my own personal things, and I'll handle it personally with her. And I didn't let them know exactly what I had in mind, and I never really thought it would come to this. But after some recent events, and most definitely after I got basically thrown out of my family, and the only people that I care about are not even around anymore, or don't even care about me, it seems. And honestly, I gave everything back. I gave my book a Dale. I gave my family photos. I gave everything back to the hobos, and I said, I don't want it. I don't want it now. I don't deserve it. I want to earn everything back, including your respect. And I don't know how I do that, but I'm here, and I know this is a part of it. And that's why I'm here.
So you understand what it's like to lose part of your family then now, don't you, Pookie?
Yeah, absolutely.
And how it can destroy a lot of people, even if you're just losing one person, not even compared to how many people that you are losing right now.
I absolutely understand that, and I didn't know Billy. I didn't. I never met him a day before that day we met, and honestly, I'm sure he was a great person, and I really do feel sorry every day for that shit now. I didn't for a long time. Matter of fact, I blamed you, and that shit was fucking stupid. But I've learned a lot about myself. I know that I need to stay away from crack, and I don't know how that's possible because every day I go on, I meet people. They're like, oh, Pookie, oh, how you doing? Here's some crack. And I'm just like, man, like every time I even get close to that shit, my life starts to fucking fall apart.
And have you been telling them no?
Yes, I have. I don't even pick that shit up. I clean out houses sometimes, to make some money. And I find that shit in the houses. I don't even take it out of the house. I leave it right there on the ground. But I know that it's right around the corner. That crack is always calling for me. And that's what I mean. I try to help myself, but I'm not sure if I can anymore. I think I need some real help, and I know of a rehab place up north in the Rockford Hills, a real nice rehab center.
Have you told your family about this?
I have. I talked to Jack today, actually, about it. And I told them that I think it might be for the best, They might take my phone, or they might only be able to come up there and visit me for a while, or, but it might be for the best,
I have a saying that I use for my family when things get rough. And sometimes people want to distance themselves from the family because things are going wrong, or things are not going the way that they want them, or they're ostracized, or anything like that. And I always say, the only people who are going to make you feel better about everything that is going on, even if they're the root cause of it, is going to be your own family. So do you feel that you will become a stronger person without your family, or you will become a stronger person with the help and the support of your family?
Well, I definitely think I needed some time to kind of do some self-reflecting. You know what I mean? I think I needed some time to address issues with people and make things right with people on my own accord. I think there's things that I need to do, like go to rehab for a little bit and really make sure that I kick that pipe. And these are all things that I realize now. And I think after that, I do need that support, and I do need those people in my life, because those people are the most important people. Without those people in my life, life is not the same. It's boring. It's mundane. I meet people and it's just, they're not the same people. Even though they're good people, I meet lots of people all the time, and I try to help people out as much as I can.
It's a very respectful decision that you're going to make for yourself.
Listen, I just want to prove myself to the family again, and most importantly,
Of course.
Bubba, because that shit I did, now I look back on it, I was so wrong for shooting Bubba. Like, it doesn't matter if he was wrong or if he was right. That motherfucker was somebody that had a problem with my brother that was right in front of our compound. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, Nadia. Like, honestly. And then to make it worse, I fucking lied about it, because I knew I had no good fucking excuse. And now I deal with these actions I take. Billy Blaze, it cost me so much time in my life. I'm getting so old at this point. I spent 40 years in jail, and then another 6 weeks on parole. That shit, and I'll do it again, because I did deserve that time. I took a man's life, and I resented you and blamed you all for it for so long, and expected the hobos to keep going and drag on some beef that wasn't even theirs. They didn't even want to be there that night. Can I be completely honest with you? We were all gonna go to sleep that night after you told us to leave your compound, and I said, "You guys want to go to sleep? You want to spin a block?" I used the term "spin a block." You know that nobody even knew what the fuck "spin the block" meant.
Do you think that if what you did didn't happen, you would be where you are right now?
No.
So maybe this might be a little blessing in disguise then, Byron.
I do, and I've had, trust me, I know how crazy life is. There's been people that I've considered my biggest enemies. I've taken them to the beach. I've thought about putting them on a fire and watching them burn to death.
Hold on. What is happening here? What is going on? What is happening here?
God, I hope he fucking does something at least.
Where is that man's shirt?
But you know what happened though? Before I got to the beach, the whole way to the beach, we talked. We got to the beach before I put him on the fire. We had a big long conversation, and it turns out at the end of the conversation, we had more in common than we thought, and we became good friends. All I'm saying is we're not gonna ever become good friends. Maybe we will, but I'm just saying the life in this city is fucking weird, and it turns and twists, and some things happen that you never think would. And all I'm saying is I'm here to squash that shit. I'm putting it all behind me. I want to start a new Pookie, a new year, and I don't know what that means for you. If you expect something from me, I don't think I'm working for HTT anymore. So if you need a tow truck driver, I mean, I got my own tow truck and shit. I mean, I could work for you. I mean, if that's a possibility, maybe I could earn my trust back that way.
The The way that you're gonna earn your trust back, darling, to me and my family, is to keep doing exactly what you're doing right now. Keep to your own, keep to your word. If you need to do your rehab thing, do your rehab thing, and mend whatever it is that you have with your own family. Because how can you trust someone who is being ostracized by their own family? You can't bring someone in like that, right?
No, you're right. That's true.
And you already are saying those are the most important people in your life right now, and they're all being stripped away because of a bad decision that you made. Just like some people in my family were stripped away from a bad decision that you made. But at the end of the day, this isn't a beef between you and I, darling. You have to remember how this all started and who was the person who created all of this drama.
I remember.
So any anger, any resentment, any last hurrah that you want to do before the new year, new you, maybe that's where you need your closure.
Slap.
Exactly.
It is where it all started. And that motherfucker
Of
was
any
never
of
even
you.
a. He was
Simply
never
it's
even a
because
hobo.
I know, darling, and that is why I was so confused why you guys even got involved in the first place.
Yeah.
So all this time I think you've been pointing the finger at the wrong person because all I did and all you guys did was protect each other's families.
I do have to let you know something.
Hmm.
I got pretty close to Rocco while I was in jail.
You don't think I don't know that?
I do. And I actually, I considered him a friend.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I will say, now that he's gone, that motherfucker sang like a bird.
Why do you think he's gone?
I mean, I I gave him hope, and I feel responsible now.
Why do you feel responsible about somebody else singing? Hmm?
Because I told him, I said, hey, listen, you got the shit end of the stick, and if you talk to a lawyer, right, you know, they could probably help you out. But I didn't know to what extent he was gonna, you know, do that. I just thought that he should get a parole hearing at some point because he was put on life. So I
Do you know
never
that he was
told.
put on life for something that didn't even involve me at all? Do you know that when he decided to turn himself in, not only did I beg him not to, but I got him the best team of lawyers that I possibly could in the entire city, and he turned them down. I called in favor so much that I had people fly in.
Yeah,
So, for all those times that you were told that I didn't care about him, that I didn't go and visit, that I didn't do those things, it was all a facade, darling. Everything about it was a facade. And unfortunately, you listened to a very good songbird. And that very good songbird not only they said things to you, but they said things to other people, which then got back to me. And if a bird is only going to sing for a few people, they're fine to have around. But if you have a bird that is going to sing to everyone, you gotta let them go. And they can't be around you anymore, right?
yeah, I agree.
So let me just say this, Pookie. And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to show ego or anything like that. If I wanted you gone, darling, don't you think you would be?
Sure, yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely.
What I want from you now is for you to find yourself. And then, like I said, If it is going to be you going to rehab until the new year and coming out a new man, then do it. But don't go back on your word. Don't go to other people who you've had beef with for months and say these pretty little things and then turn around and one day get angry and shoot a family member again or come after one of my people again or even start trouble with some other people. I know that you guys like to have fun. I know that you guys like to puff out your chest and everyone thinks it's great. You guys pressed an FSM block and everything like that. Everybody had a laugh about it. But if you want to be a new person, then don't do those things.
No, I totally agree. And to be honest with you, I never pushed FSM. I wasn't a part of that. And I'm probably the least type of, we call them gangers. I don't know if you know the technical term. Have you heard of it?
I've heard you guys say it, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm definitely not down with the ganger. And you know, this whole hobo thing, the hobo gang, okay? It's definitely more of a gang now than it ever was before. Before it was just a meme. It was just something we joked as, cause we, you know, hobo gang, you know, but you know, we don't like gangers and shit. It was just a meme, but we are much more, well, not we anymore. The hobos are much more organized, I feel, than anybody really knows at this point. So
Are you upset with that?
no, I'm not. I mean, I always felt like there never should be like an actual ranking system. And towards the end, I think we had it right, and I think it is right. A lot of the inner workings and the way that you know the decisions are made, I was a part in you know putting that whole thing together, and you know I really took pride in kind of what we had going, and I ruined it for myself, and I betrayed my family. Like, and it's hard because we've been together for so long.
Sometimes there's decisions that you have to make in your family that are going to be some of the hardest, but that will make you stronger. So, what do you want out of everything, Pookie? When it becomes the new year, what do you want afterwards?
Well, I mean, I want to go to rehab. I want to really talk to a professional and get professional help because I've never actually. Oh, I'm sorry. I want to get professional help because I've never actually seen a professional, you know, for my issues. I've always just dealt with it internally and kind of, you know, piled on other things like alcohol and weed and shit. But that I always come back to the crack and bad things happen after that. And I don't know if you know this, but I medically I am brain damaged. I in police custody one time fell, hit my head, and I was in a coma for 3 days. And they actually did you know, x-rays, and they seen I had brain damage. The only way the hobos and my brothers were able to wake me up was by blowing crack smoke into my face and waking me up out of the coma. I got right up. But for a long time, I had no idea that the crack interacts with my brain damage and makes me violent and makes me do things.
Do you think that it would be better for you if you started off just doing HTT and then working your way back into the other council?
I mean, yeah, I always liked doing the tow trucking. And I don't know where I stand with HCT because I figured HCT is a part of the hobos and I'm banned from the hobos. So, you know, and then there was just recently another issue where when we when we met up and they told me exactly what they wanted. Like they told me to write it down on paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I took out a notepad and I wrote it all down. I wrote everything down and I studied those things and word for word. And at no point did they ever say I wasn't allowed to have like verbal contact or communication with other hobos. and that just got brought up. So I'm kind of worried about what that's gonna happen because I was talking to Buddy, but we never even talked like in person. He was just like, "Hey, buddy, you know, I've heard kind of what happened. If you need somewhere to stay, here's keys to my warehouse." Like in a text. It wasn't even like we met in person. And I started just kind of, living out of his warehouse. And he doesn't even stay there. He stays at the compound and shit. So I don't know. That kind of blew up on me. And I'm kind of worried about what kind of repercussions that's gonna have. But I honestly didn't know I wasn't allowed to have any contact with them.
I know all too well that when it comes to a family, there is always going to be miscommunication. And if you can't grow and learn from that miscommunication, then are you truly a family?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he told me that, I said, "Yo, you okay? If that's what it is, I told Buddy I'm getting my stuff out of there. I went and got a room and moved all my stuff. I said, go ahead, take my keys.
You were showing them, yeah. You showed them that you had a miscommunication. You righted your wrong. Everybody is going to have wrongs. No one can hold it against them forever. That's
Yeah.
just the way that things work. We all, hell, I fight with my boys all the time. We yell and we scream at each other, and then we're fine afterwards. That's just how things work. It really is. And that's how it's going to be for you guys as well too. But this one, you fucked up a little bit too big, huh?
Well, listen. I've had with the whole. I just went and got $25,000. I won $25,000 from Jasper's giveaway because he honestly believes that I am like the Los Santos biggest like recovery story. Like I've kind of like turned my life around and stuff like that. Since the whole Billy Blaze thing. And honestly, before that, I was never really a big criminal. Shit, my first fucking crime was a poaching felony because of my pet turtle, Tortellini. I had a pet turtle, and they fucking got me for felony poaching. They took my gun license, and they threw me in jail for my pet turtle I've had for 15 years. And guess what? That turtle is still gone. Nobody knows what happened to it. I'm pretty sure the cop took it home and ate it, and I'm pissed off still.
Well,
sorry, I'm traumatized. My turtle's gone. I'm sorry, I got off topic.
It's okay. No, it's alright. It's alright. Here's my advice to you. If you were in a situation in my family like this, I would have you start from the very ground and work your way back up.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't tell your family that that is what you're willing to do, which I'm pretty sure you already have.
Yeah, I told them that, yeah.
And now you just need to prove it. When is your time up?
I have to check the calendar at home.
If you want to do naughty things again, you can do naughty things again. Just not doing an extreme that you were going at. Go rob a store. Go do a van cheese. Kill a cop.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
suck
kind of
12.
stuff. Right.
I hate cops. Cops are the worst, honestly. But no, you're right. And the hobos, they're so good to me. When I got out of jail, I was $100,000 in debt. They gave me $100,000 as soon as I got out of jail, and I've already vowed to give back all the money that they gave me, and I want them to pay it forward to other hobos. And I'm actually happy to say, as of right now, I have $97,000, and I've really been working my ass off to get that money together. And I know that's not a lot for, you high rollers. I'm sure you guys got millions of dollars, but for a hobo, that's a lot of money. And it was a lot of money for them when they gave it to me. And I took all my guns. I had a lot of guns. I had fully automatic guns. I had tons of armor. I gave all that to Bubba. I had plans on providing different people to, with the things that they need and they want, during those times. So I have things in place and have plans to really try to, give back to the gang, to the hobos. And also, I just want to say, like, Jack really cares about you. And I hope you know, someday give him a chance to just kind of like prove himself and maybe like go on a date with him or something.
Well, I appreciate that, darling. To me, it doesn't sound like you need rehab. I think you know what you want to do. To me, it sounds like your rehab might just be grinding. Might just you up north, getting houses, doing chops, working.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
And is it going well? Are
It
you just
is.
lonely?
It is. Like, yeah, I mean, it gets pretty boring and it gets lonely, but I've also met people along the way. You know what I mean?
And are you proud of yourself for your bank account that you've been grinding?
Oh, absolutely. Hmm.
So if you continue doing that until your time is up, it could be double. Or
Oh yeah, or more. Yeah, I've definitely gotten in the swing of things.
or you can go and you can go to rehab and give up for a moment. But I think it would show your family a little bit more if you continue on the path that you're on right now and not to go away for a while.
I think you're right. Maybe I definitely would rethink it now.
I appreciate all the things that you have said to me, Pookie, and I've been waiting to have this conversation for quite some time.
Well,
I wanted to make sure
I
that it was
honestly,
just with you.
I honestly did not think like this conversation was gonna go like this, and or that you would ever be this caring or even care or listen to my problems.
I've always been the caring person. I cared about my family so much to do the things that we did, right?
Yeah, yep.
And like I told everybody else, what happened before, that was us doing our jobs. Now going forward, if it really is squashed, then we'll start caring about each other.
Yeah, I like that.
Good. I do as well. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut our time short.
Oh
But
no, that's okay. That's okay.
I do have things to do and people to talk to. So,
Well, I appreciate this conversation. It really makes me feel better. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my chest.
good. And I can't wait to hear what decision that you end up making.
All right. Well, thank you, Nadia. I appreciate it.
No problem. Good night, Pookie.
All right, take it easy, boys. Have a good one.